Hi, I'm GenericDemon, and this is my introduction to the RetroPie, effectively built on, in my case, a Raspberry Pi 2, downloaded from the RetroPie website. I'll put all of the links in the description below. And basically I want to give you a quick sort of rundown of how it looks. So I'm not going to do any games, just a quick look at what's there. So as you add ROMs, what happens is to each individual section you get a section that appears. So you'll have, so many games and so forth. If you go into the sections, you get a sort of scrolling list. Not quite as pretty as Lakka. Certainly it's an interesting, to be fair, it's a much more robust. I found Lakka had an inability to hold a list of all games, so you know that they were on there, you could see the ROMs but it wouldn't see them, whereas the RetroPie is a much better product in that sense. So let's have a look at the configuration now. Lakka's very polished, has a beautiful interface. This is polished and it's much better than the previous times I've seen it. However, if we just take audio for an example, when it loads, there we go, you'll see that we're back to a DOS input. Now I'm using the controller to move up and down. A DOS input, a Linux style sort of text based input. But I've also got a little external sort of remote control keyboard attached as well, but so I can get out of this. And I actually think this is very handy. I keep hold of these. I'll put a link again in the description to this. It's literally a couple of centimeters long, a couple of centimeters high. Really useful for this kind of thing, or for sort of retro consoles. At least it gives you access to a keyboard. But as you can see, to get out of it, I'm pressing enter on this little keyboard. You've got your Bluetooth options, splash screens, and various other setups. So this is the main configuration things, and yeah, fair enough, we can get away with that. I think it's fair to say that if this has a little bit of keyboard input, that's fair, I think, if I'm honest. So if we just go back and then I bring up the menu, this gives you the other options, which is basically the themes. I haven't got any more themes, to be fair. Sound settings, how sounds are when they're enabled. The UI itself, how it dims. You can input the frame rate on the top corner. Transitions. I don't have any more themes. If I want to install, I have to go over there. So there's the frame rate on the top corner, which is pretty nice actually. 60 frames per second. You can't ask for more, really. Just turn that off again. So you've got a few odds and sods that are there. Other settings, it's the metadata for the games, and VRAM limits. And then you've got the configuring the inputs, and that's just literally configuring the keyboard. So it's fairly, simple as an interface. As I say, it lacks. Under this level anyway, it certainly lacks a little bit of polish, but do we need polish once you've got it initially set up and you can play? All games work perfectly well when you launch them. We'll just go into one of these. I'll see if we can find one that will launch. It comes up a little bit like this. You can press a button sometimes and run into error messages. Otherwise, though, I can't get to start. However, which isn't a very good start. Press J for joystick. Yeah, I can't actually get out of it either. So there are some. Hang on a second, I maybe got the wrong controller. Yeah, wrong controller. That would help. So, but. If I'm absolutely honest, though, it's a much as I say, I've tried both now. I've used Lakka and I've used RetroPie. If I had to choose one or select one or the other, I think I'd go with the RetroPie. Once it's set up, you're in a situation where you have a better I think a better experience in the long run. It should work fine now. There we go. So we've got, yeah, bottom jack. Yeah, and the sound effects running and everything. So I'll just quit out of there. Right, yeah. RetroPie, a good retro experience, and a good emulator at that, or set of emulators, should I say? It's because it's effectively an operating system. I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.